Hello everyone. I wanted to come on and do a little bit of a review, no spoilers, but a little bit of a review for this book. Now, before I get started, I do want to go ahead and put a disclaimer out there. I'm probably going to get some of these pronunciations wrong. So if you are offended by mispronunciations, I'm going to give you a few seconds to leave, because I don't want to offend you, but I don't know exactly how to say these words. So, yeah. All right. So this book is called Akata Witch, and I love it. This is a great, great, great book. If you hear me yell or look over here, I have two kids running around the house, so I'm going to try to get this done as soon as I can, or as quickly as I can, so I can go make sure they are not burning down my house. All right, so this book is written by Nnedi Okorafor. Probably got that wrong, ma'am. I'm sorry if I did. The first version of this was published in the USA through Viking, which is an imprint of Penguin Group, and that was in 2011. There was also this version, which was published by Speak, an imprint of Penguin House LLC, which was published in 2017. So this is the 2017 version. If you see a different cover, that's probably the 2011 version. I do want to point out what version I'm using, just in case the story, some small parts of the story are different. So this is the one I'm using, the 2017 one. This is a 349 page work of fantasy. Great fantasy, but fantasy. And that 349 pages does not include the extra bonus chapter that's at the end. It does not include the acknowledgments, and it does not include the prologue. So 349 solid pages for this novel. And I also have notes, so there you go. So I bought this book here in Anchorage, Alaska, which is where I'm living right now. I bought it in Anchorage, Alaska at Barnes & Noble, and I paid $10.99 for it right there. All right, Barnes & Noble, $10.99. Yeah, great find. I started reading on 25 June at around 1917, or 7/17 for you non-military people. Started reading 25th of June, 1917, and then I finished today at about 10:56 a.m. So a little over a day, almost 2 days to read this, because I'm a master's student. I got two kids. We're PCSing to another state, so my entire house has been packed up. That's why I don't have one of those cool bookshelves behind me with the color-coded books. I'll probably never have that, but that's why you see a white wall. It's because I have nowhere else to do this video besides in my bathroom with a broken towel rack behind me. So there you go. I want to explain to you guys how I read before I get into my notes, because sometimes, depending on how you read, you receive information different ways. Usually when I read, I buy the physical book, and then I buy an audio, unabridged audio, if I can find it, of that book. And I listen to the book while I'm reading it to kind of immerse myself in two different mediums, and then I take notes in the margins. I did not listen to this book while I was reading it because I just didn't. I don't know. And plus it's expensive to get an audiobook and then buy the book, and then, so yeah. But anyway, I just read this one and I took notes in the margins. I don't know if you can see some of these. Well, it doesn't look like I did a lot, but I actually did a lot. There are some pages that are filled from the top to bottom with notes. And of course, since I'm doing a video, you're not going to see any of them. Great. Oh, there's one. But yeah. So that's how I read. So for this book, I just took the notes in the inside. I usually do a notebook, but I tend to lose things. So those notebooks with all of my notes about all these books I read have been misplaced, and that's no fun. Anyway, as I say in the title, this is not a spoiler for this book. I encourage you to go read it. So I'm going to try, when I tell you how I feel about it, I'm going to try not to spoil any of the plots or any of the characters or anything like that. So here's some lessons learned, or some things I learned, some things I liked in this book. I did enjoy that girls are I don't want to say given an opportunity, but they take the opportunity to represent themselves. There's a situation where Sunny was being denied an opportunity because she's a girl, and then because she's albino, but it was mainly because she was a girl. and her friend stood up for her, and she was given the chance to take that opportunity. And after she did, a girl came up to her and said, "Thank you so much. You know, you paved the way for all the girls, you know, that'll come after you." And I thought that was really cool. This book does go into the familial relationships between family members, obviously familial, and it goes into pretty much good detail between Sunny and her mom, Sunny and her dad, Sunny and her brothers, and then some of her friendships. Her friends hold her accountable, which I think is amazing, because usually you have that one friend that's like, "Girl, do you, boo boo, go be great." Or you have that one friend that's like, you know, riding your back, telling you that you can't have any fun. So there was a great balance between the two of those types of people in this book. And I enjoyed the fact that when a friend screwed up, the friend was told they screwed up, but the friends around that person never left them. And I think that's a very important message, especially in a young adult book. To know that you can be held accountable for screwing up, but it doesn't mean, you know, the people that love you are going to leave you. I think that's great. We learn about our skin, and I say our just as a generalization. Our is going to include anyone who reads this book, whether you're white, black, you know, whatever. It's reading this book. We learn to appreciate our skin and embrace our skin tone, our skin texture, whatever. And there's no real sense of entitlement in this book. Like they don't coddle or pacify people who have a sense of entitlement. So we learn in this book that you need to do your best and earn your way. And that's how you're going to be great. There is no, "My mom's a princess, my mom's a queen, and I was born into this." There's none of that. You will do work, you will earn your way, and then we'll pat you on the back and say good job and then move on. Like, that's what it is. And I think that's very important. I know some people may say, you know, give the child a participation trophy, and this is just a generalization of that theme. But this book is saying you need to work. You need to make it happen because you need to. And I think that's a pretty good topic. So another great thing in this book, my kids are killing me. Another great thing in this book is the author writes in such a way where education and experience is valued over money and power. And I think that is gold. Okay. So it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what status you have. It's education and experience. And that is what's going to set you apart from that powerful, money hungry type person. Learning about your culture. Okay. I don't know any African words, right? But reading this book, I learned a few. And not only did the author use French words, Yoruba words, Igbo words, and so many other languages, African languages. Not only did she use them, but she provided, it was basically a spelling bee. She gave you the word, she gave you a definition, she used it in a sentence. And I think that's awesome. I think that's amazing. It's not just throwing words at you. You are learning while you're reading this book. So there are some words that I saw, and at the beginning of the book, and in the middle of the book, I knew what it was. I didn't have to stop and think. It was like I had a second language. Now I know the little 10, 15 words I learned in this book does not constitute fluidity or does not constitute a second language, friend, I know. But what I'm saying is the way she used these words made me feel that I was not only reading her work of fiction, but I was learning about my culture, learning about African languages, learning about African magic, you know, superstitions or whatever. That's what I felt, and I thought that was awesome. There's a great amount of balance in this book. You have, like I said before, the friend who will let you do anything and the friend that's going to hold you accountable. Balance. You have the albino and you have someone who has, quote, black skin. Balance. You have the person who's deathly afraid of doing anything and the person who's a daredevil. Balance. All throughout this book, there's balance. And I think that is an important life lesson, that you can't just be on one side of the spectrum, really crazy or really boring. You have to have balance. I don't know if I already said it, but this is a very easy read because the author uses very informal language. And I think that, coupled with the words that she is teaching us in this book, is very, very spot on. There is an acknowledgement of environmental issues in this book. She does talk about This is what's happening to the environment. We're all going to die if we don't fix it. This is how we fix it. It's only like 2 or 3 lines, maybe a paragraph. It's no more than a paragraph, but it's in here. And I think that is a great amount of knowledge for this demographic. And I think it's great that she put it in here. Let's see. I already talked about empowering women, or, girls paving the way for the women behind them or the girls behind them. Chapters 1 through 11, at the very beginning, there's a page that introduces it's a page from the Fast Facts for Free Agents, right? So the Fast Facts for Free Agents page looks like this. Don't read it. Don't pause it to read it. I just want to show you what it was. So that page is the first page of every chapter between 1 and 11. And it feels like you as the reader are reading her work of fiction while you're also reading a textbook, a fun textbook, right? Around chapter 6, you realize Sunny is reading this. I don't know if her name is Sunny or Suni. A pronunciation thing. I'm going to call her Sunny, just so you know. All right. So around chapter 6, I believe, you realize that Sunny is reading the same textbook, Fast Facts for Free Agents, that you, the reader, are. So it's kind of like you're reading the same book together, and you're learning together, and you're experiencing all these magical, amazing things together, which is awesome. I don't know how Akata I don't know how she did it or how she thought to do it, but I think that was very smart to kind of, instead of just having us like this being watching this whole story take place, she put us in it. She put us in the scene. She put us in the setting. And I think that was amazing, an amazing choice of hers. That page is gone. Let's see. There were 3 things. Those are all things that I liked, but there were 3 things. I'm not going to say I didn't like them, but I will say there were 3 major things where I felt I wanted more information, or I wish, it was changed or whatever. So those 3 things, 1 is going to be the relationship between Sunny and her father. So the reader knows from the first 2 or 3 chapters that Sunny, and her father do not get along. She doesn't like him. He seems like he doesn't like her. But we don't really know why, because we're not given that backstory. So I think if we were given a little more information about their history, it wouldn't be so jarring, when Sunny is, venting about how much she does not like that man. So that's one thing. The second thing is age. So Sunny is introduced to us at about 12 years old. So there are 12-year-olds, there are 9-year-olds, 18-year-olds, there's teenagers, right? It's anywhere between 9 and 18. So some of the topics in the story are a little heavy for a 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old. And that could just be me as a reader not suspending my disbelief enough. I'll accept that. But there were talks about lust. There were talks about love. There were talks about, making out. There's, running away with someone, all that kind of stuff. And it seemed a little heavy for, the preteen to 13, age. Again, I take that as me not suspending my disbelief enough. The book was great. So it didn't detract from the book, but I wish maybe if the ages were moved up a few years, I'd have an easier chance, or an easier understanding. But anyway, like I said, it's nothing horrible. It's just something I noticed. The last thing, number 3, is chapter 6 talks about smelling burning insects. And that's a direct quote, burning insects. I don't know what burning insects tastes like. Lord, I'm Southern. I eat some crazy stuff, but I ain't never had burning insects. Anyway, I don't know what burning insects smell like, okay? When I read that passage, I was like, blah, 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 burning insects. What does a burnt insect smell like? Which insect? Is it, a mosquito or a beetle? Or I don't know if those are insects. I'm not scientific. But you see what I'm saying? So if you know what a burning insect smells like, go on and leave me a little comment. Educate your girl. Because the only thing I can think of is campfires. And I don't know why. Maybe because insects outside camping, burning fire, campfire. Maybe that's how I got to it, friend. I don't know. But if you know, because I don't know, let me know. Okay? All right, so those are the 3 things that I wish I had more explanation on, right? Doesn't make the book bad, but it's just, that's what it is. Lastly, before I'm done with this video, there are a few quotes I want to leave you with. Now, throughout this book, Sister Girl left some tidbits of information that'll apply to anybody's life, anytime. The real core of this is very timeless, right? So I'm going to give you guys 3 quotes that I thoroughly enjoyed, and they're by the same character. His name, I will spell it first, is Anatov. I'm going to pronounce it Anatov. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's what it's going to be today. So the first quote is, potential doesn't equal success. Right? Potential does not equal success. Think about it. The second one, to be a young black man in America with a hatred for authority is a recipe. This is presidential. Look at that. To be a young black man in America with a hatred of authority is a recipe for disaster. Is that, or is that not true? To be a young black man in America with a hatred for authority is a recipe for disaster. Think about it. And the third quote that I want to give you is, when things get bad, they don't stop until you stop the badness or die. Maybe that one had a little more in my heart, a little more comedy in it. Not saying he meant it in a comedic way, but that one just made me smile. But it's applicable to life, you know? So those are the things that I thought about this book. I hope I didn't give you any spoilers. If you felt that I spoiled something, I apologize. It wasn't my intent. Anyway, if you want spoilers, go to Black Roots Book Club on Facebook, and I will post a video spoiling everything. I'm spilling all the tea about this here book, okay? So if that's what you want, hop over to Facebook. I'll try to upload it sometime tomorrow. But hop over to Facebook, like the Black Roots Book Club, and I shall post a video of spoilers. Later on, I'm also going to do another video of something I heard about this book, because a lot of people have been saying it's a spinoff or a copycat of, say it with me, Harry Potter. Now listen, I love the Harry Potter series. I read it when it first came out. I've seen every movie. I know what my wand is. I know what house I belong to, blah, blah, blah. So I am a fan of Harry Potter, okay? This is not a spinoff. It is not a copycat of J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter. It is not. If you disagree with me, I don't care. This is completely different. And I'm going to quit before I have a 30-minute video. This is not Harry Potter, all right? If you guys want me to do a video concerning how this is not Harry Potter, I wish I could caps lock IS space NOT. It's not Harry Potter. Please comment down below. I shall do a video for you of how this is completely different from Harry Potter. Hopefully you like it. Anyway, I'm going to go get the book. I give it a 4 out of 5. It's a great read. It's amazing for young adults. I'm 32. I haven't been a spring chicken in a very long time, but I enjoyed this book. So go get you one. I hope you enjoy it. And if you want to borrow mine to read my notes, just leave me a comment and I'll send it to you. But just give my book back because I like my books. Okay. Bye, y'all.